So excited to be back today. And on today's live, we are going to be having a guest with us. So we're going to invite Cristina Monaco. She is the new PA at Dr. Allenby's office, and we are so excited to have her. We're going to talk about some of the things that she has brought to the practice, why she chose to come down here, and just why we're so excited to have her in general. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. So she'll be hopping on here in just a minute. And if you have any questions for her, now would be a really good time to ask. She is an incredible PA who moved down here in January from New York, and she worked for a really prominent practice up there for quite a while. And let's see, I think she is almost ready. She was here. Oh, she's gone. She'll be back in a second. Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, here we go. And she's just connecting here. You guys are so sweet.
Hi.
Hi, Cristina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy that you're joining us today. Look, your skin is
Thank
still
you.
glowing from that frost mask. It looks amazing.
I know. I couldn't bear to put any makeup on. I have an oil treatment in my hair right now, and I didn't want to shower any of this goodness off my face. So
let it absorb. Only you could look this good while doing a oil treatment in your hair and a mask on your face.
You're so funny. Thank you. I'm loving the look of the Dr. Franz mask. So thank you.
I know. I can't wait to use mine. I have it sitting in here, and I'm like saving it for right before we go back into the office because I'm like, I gotta look fresh. I mean,
oh yeah,
we've had like all this time being home. If we don't come in looking good, it's not gonna be okay.
I think that everybody needs to, if you didn't see our live, you need to purchase the Dr. Franz mask, and you need to do it before this quarantine is over so that you can get your glow on before before you have to be back in public.
I know, exactly. We have, and if you guys don't know, so Cristina actually goes live twice a week on our Allenby Durham page.
Yes.
And does coffee chats with Cristina.
Right.
And she talks about all the amazing skincare offers that we're having. And every week we've dedicated an entire week to a specific product where we're running extra specials on top of the specials that we're running. So
I know.
The mask that Christina's talking about is 15% off. You can get it on our Allenby store. Give us a call and order it. DM us, whatever you would like. You can also contact Body Squad, and we can definitely get it for you too. So she's showing me amazing results right now.
I am. It's glowing.
So how's your day going so far? Good?
Good. It's so beautiful out. I think one of the best things about living down here is the weather. I mean, a lot of people will say, how are you doing? Or how's things down there with the quarantine? And I'm like, yeah, the not being able to be outside at the pool or go to the beach or whatever, like that's definitely not fun, but the weather is so beautiful. How could you not love be in a better mood? I don't know. I definitely think that being up in New York, if I was up there, would have been much harder, but
yeah,
the weather down here just makes it easier, to be honest.
I totally agree. We had like a brief spell of rain, and I was not having it. I was not having it. I'm like, we can't be trapped inside and it be rainy. Like, well, sure, that's nice, curl up with a book, but like not multiple days in a row, not when we're so trapped. So you're right. It helps a lot. Yeah, I've been working in my backyard a lot and just enjoying, and there's been a decent breeze, which is nice. I feel like Florida doesn't normally have a spring, but we are getting a little bit of a spring this year, which is nice. So.
I feel I have this huge balcony, and I sit out there sometimes, and there's a definite breeze. So it definitely keeps it manageable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So let's get started.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to introduce you to everybody who follows Body Squad. And the reason why we brought Cristina on today is just because we are so incredibly in love with her over at Allenby Durham. She does amazing work, guys. Like, she just goes above and beyond. So you just moved here, like you just said, from New York, right? What made you pick Florida?
So, okay. So I lived in New York my entire life. I'm 32 years old. My parents always wanted to move down here, but never had the ability to do so because of their jobs and whatnot. So my sister and I were raised on Long Island. And when after I got married, my parents retired, about 3 years later, and they've been down in Florida now you know, like typical snowbirds half the year, and then they would go back up north to New York. We have a house in like upstate New York area that they go to. And I realized that, you know, as time went on, like family is very important to me. And I really always, my husband and I always wanted to live down here, even before my parents moved down here. And then when they moved down here, that kind of just solidified things.
Okay.
And I think timing is everything. And I was at a place that I was looking for, you know, better quality of life, better weather, kind of a lot of better things. Oh, hi, look at your
Sorry about
cute
that.
room. I know that you love like beachy everything. That's such a cute room.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so yeah, so we just decided to kind of like, if it worked out, um, we were gonna do it, and it worked out, and we picked up everything and sold everything, and here we are.
I'm so
I've,
well. I'm happy that we got to benefit from that because
yes,
you've been a
I've been
huge,
I've
huge.
been down here since December. We literally picked up the day after Christmas. Um, like, you know, the movers came. I sold everything in my house, and we packed in the car and left the day after Christmas, and we've been down here ever since.
That's amazing. And I mean, it's definitely got to bring a bunch of emotions when you make a big move like that. And I know you're with your last practice for like 6 or 7 years, and I know you felt really connected to them. So, but we're just so excited that you're with us now.
Thank you.
One of the questions that we get asked a lot, I know that you're a PA. So a lot of times people are like, okay, well, what's the difference between a PA, a doctor, or like an RN?
Nurse
Yeah, NP.
MP.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's a great question. You know, people will always ask me too, how come you didn't go to school to be a doctor? I didn't have, for me, quality of life is a big deal. And being a doctor is so strenuous. You have to go 4 years of medical school, then your residency. And I give everybody credit who can be in school that long. It just wasn't for me. And I honestly, becoming, I don't know, that I didn't, I wanted to be able to help people, and I always had like this desire to be in aesthetics. So PA kind of just fit for me, but the difference between them is, you know, an MD is somebody who goes, you know, they take their MCAT, so that's an
Sure.
entrance exam to go to medical school. Then once you're in medical school, you complete 4 years, and once you complete 4 years, you go on for your residency.
Okay.
Physician assistants, we are trained and taught under the medical model. So that's the difference between a nurse practitioner and a PA, is that PAs are taught and our schooling is under a medical model. So when I was in my training, I was in school with medical students.
Okay.
So how I kind of explain it is, you know, my 2 years of PA school is combined into a med student's 4 years.
Okay.
So PAs are, you know, we go through very, very, very rigorous training. Our didactic or our classroom year is very strenuous. It's a lot piled into one full year. So it's like a spring semester, a fall semester, a summer semester. There's no breaks. And then the difference between nurse practitioners and physician assistants, nurse practitioners are nurses first. They go to school to become a nurse. So
Okay.
they get their BSN in nursing most likely, and then they work in critical care for at least 2 years. And then after they work in critical care, they can go on, and they have to distinguish if they want to be adult practice or family practice. And that decides where they're going to practice for their whole scope of them practicing medicine. So as a PA,
Wow.
if I decided to pick up tomorrow and wanting to go in pediatrics, I'm trained in that. Or if I want to do dermatology, if I want to do cardiology, nurse practitioners have to stay within their scope of practice and what they chose when they were getting licensed. So
Wow.
similarities, we both diagnose, we both treat patients, we both write prescriptions. At least in the state of New York, I think in Florida too, you know, nurse practitioners are able to write prescriptions. We both can see patients autonomously. We both you know, pretty much can do everything the same. It's just that logistically on paper, there's differences.
That was like one of the best explanations I think I ever heard. And
Mm.
guys, the reason why, I wanted her to explain that to you is because one of the things that any of you know with Dr. Allenby, no matter what she does, is that she's going to have the top of the top, the best of the best. She's going to make sure that anybody that you interact with in any of her offices are just going to have the utmost training possible and deliver quality work with like genuine kindness, and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's definitely something that Cristina offers. So you
Oh.
you've touched on it a little bit. So what made you want to go into like the aesthetic cosmetic side of this, especially considering you had all these other options available to you?
So I never had interest in, I was talking to somebody the other day. I never had interest in like bones or like some people, like I remember in PA school, everybody wanted to be in ortho. Everybody wanted to be in
Really?
orthopedics. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, definitely not for me. I had no desire for that. I also, I don't know. I didn't want to be around children who were sick because it's very sad,
Yeah.
and that just wasn't something that I was interested in. I just always knew that like I wanted to inject. I think the reason why was because I remember going with my mom to get Botox. She was getting Botox, and I was young, and I remember like it was like when Botox first came out, like early, like in Long Island there was a doctor doing it, and I would go with her, and I just loved that it would make people look younger and feel better about themselves, and it was definitely great. Like it was great because you develop a relationship with your patients, and they're coming to you because they want to see a difference. They want to feel
Yeah.
better about themselves. Family practice and all those other things, like people are coming to you very briefly. You see them every couple of months, and typically they don't even want to be there. People feel
Really
very,
good point.
people feel awkward or like uncomfortable. It's like that effect, like where like, yeah, you have diabetes, but then you start taking a pill and it's like, I don't have diabetes anymore. It's like, well, you still do have it. You're just on
Yeah.
medicine. People don't want to be at the doctor,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be in a setting where people felt good about themselves and I could help them feel better and have confidence. And aesthetics, I don't mean to say this, but like, I enjoy it. Like it's a passion of mine, and it's something that I know that I don't mean to say it like this, but I know I'm great at it. So it's
Right.
like, it's something that, people are always going to look at themselves and feel happy and better about themselves when they leave the office after a treatment.
Right. And I mean, that's important. I wouldn't want to go to somebody who didn't love what they do, even a regular doctor. If I can tell
Yeah.
that they're, just there because they have to be there and they're not happy about it, I'm automatically turned off by it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
especially when you're choosing to go and it's something that you're excited about and something
Right.
that you're coming out of pocket for, even more so, like you need to have somebody who's passionate about what they're doing and
Right.
can share that joy
100%.
with you.
100%. 100%. And I mean, my previous practice, I was working with a great provider. She mentored me so much. I learned so much from her. And she reminded me and reminds me so much of Dr. Allenby because of that passion, like it's something that you need to have deep down inside because people understand that and it shows in your work, right? So for me, it's like when somebody comes in, we work together as a team. It's not like, well, this is what I think. It's like, well, what bothers you? And let's kind of work around why it bothers you. And let's try to figure out why, it bothers you. And then let's try to make that connection so that we can work together as a team, come up with the best treatment plan for you that fits, budget always isn't, people want to be budget conscious, and it's a great fit, it's something that it's a great fit. So
No, it absolutely is. And I love that you're asking why. Somebody's
yeah.
purpose or reason for being there is so important, and that can't be neglected because you have to know what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their life, what actually put them through that door today.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really huge component of your consultation. And I know people appreciate it. We have so many comments. I can't wait to come back in and see her. Your passion shows. I mean, your patients are definitely just so happy to have you in their life.
I know. Oh, it's so strange not being there for so long. It's like,
I know.
It's kind of like, it's weird not having like a needle in my hand for so long. So we need to get back in ASAP.
You can practice on me. Get back into the groove.
Let's do it.
Gotta catch up with a few things here.
Yep.
So anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience with Cool Tone? Because I know that you didn't have it at your old practice, but you got to try it down here.
Yeah.
How's that been going so far?
Cool Tone is honestly, it's the best thing. If you're like me, So I was on this, I was definitely on this like workout kick. And then like the last 2 weeks, I don't know why, like I just like, I've been missing my workouts. And so for somebody who is looking to really, in addition to, or kind of get back into a routine, Cool Tone is, you know, half hour, 20 minutes out of your life that you come into the office and you sit there and you're going to get these muscle reps to really strengthen and tone your abdomen or your glutes or your thighs. So like there's certain areas that you just can't target, you know,
Right.
like for instance, like my thighs,
Right.
you know, that's an area that doesn't matter how many squats or lunges you do. And like somebody like me, so this is a really good point. If you guys are watching, so Cool Tone, if you don't know, it's electromagnetic muscle stimulation. So you're really getting a large amount of reps for a short amount of time. You're getting more activation of the muscle. But, and I don't even know if you guys know this, but I ran the New York City Marathon in 2014.
Wow, I didn't know
And
that.
and my knees after that are really, you know, they're not great. So
Yeah.
for me to go and do lunges like all the time to help strengthen my quads, it's hard for me. Like I
Right.
can't do a lot of it. So for somebody who has had maybe trauma or who, you know, feels like they can't do as much at the gym, lift as many, you know, numerical pounds, like weights,
Yeah.
it's a great treatment.
I'm
And it's really,
actually, no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's actually, it's very exciting that we offer it at both locations. And the reason why is because a lot of places don't offer it yet. I know that our office they were one of the first in South Florida to have the machine.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not just for somebody who, you know, if you think of it as like, you know what, I'm somebody who used to work out a lot, or was a runner or a marathon runner, or triathlon, whatever, and you have had an injury, it's definitely a great way to get back into your regimen without having to have that strain.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it too. You know, it's not just to like, it's not just for somebody who wants a six pack, you know,
Right.
it's definitely for the ones who maybe can't do as much.
And I'm so happy you brought that up. And my husband, he's played sports his entire life, and he had two really bad knee injuries. He was playing football and soccer, and he has always had issues with one of his knees. It pops and makes all these crazy sounds.
Yep.
And he's a CrossFit guy. So like one of the big things at CrossFit is you're supposed to like do the box jumps and things like that.
Yes.
And he'd always skip that because he didn't want to re-injure it. Even though it
Yep.
healed, he was like, it became a psychological thing too.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know. I just don't want to mess it up. It hurts so bad. And then he got this done on his legs. And after one treatment, he went to work out like a couple weeks later. And he literally was able to do like, I think the middle or the highest box jump. And he was like the biggest skeptic. He's like, okay, like I don't need to do this. I'm like, could you just like try it, please?
Yeah.
Like, it'll help your leg. You can't work it out without feeling weird. So like try this. And he was shocked. One treatment. So it's like,
I know. The other area that's really amazing, and this is an area like for me that has always been a problem area, is my abdomen, my stomach. You know, some people don't like want to do sit-ups all the time, and it's for people, you know, so muscle, you know, when you strengthen your muscle and you tone, or you know, lengthen, strengthen, tone, whatever you want to say, because some people don't like to use the word tone, you're going to get rid of some of that abdominal fullness, if you will, right? And so I love that. I think that's a great treatment area. And then like the glute area. So I know, like, living in South Florida, and I said this to Dr. Allenby coming down here, like everybody is so health conscious and everybody is so beautiful and everybody like dresses beautifully and everybody wears these beautiful dresses and skirts and shorts, and like you're totally exposed and in a bathing suit. So Cool Tone, okay, it's, again, you want to sit there and do hundreds of squats, or you can just get the Cool Tone and really strengthen your glutes. And everybody knows that little area between like your glute and your thigh. Nobody wants it sagging. Everybody wants it lifted. And so you just need to try the Cool Tone. I mean, you literally sit there and it's quick, it's painless. And you just sit there and you watch TV. You guys have like, we both have like the great Netflix and chill, like for sure. in our suites. So
definitely will get you bikini ready after all this quarantine nonsense. I
yeah,
think we all have. I don't even want to know how many loaves of bread have been baked over the last 6 weeks. So everybody's go-to all their traps. So this could definitely help reduce whatever that did over the last
100%.
6 weeks and get you
My
going
my
again.
downfall is anything from Trader Joe's. Like if I go to Trader Joe's, I'm buying like way too much junk food. So
At
even though
least
it's
they're like
like,
kind of healthier,
yeah,
a
I was
little
just gonna
bit,
say
that's how you
it's like
justify it, right?
organic or
Yeah.
like dark chocolate, but
Oh, they do have the best dark chocolate. They
yeah,
do a lot. They have a lot of sugar-free dark chocolates too, which
so
are
good,
really good if you're
so
needing a
good.
fix and want it to be good. I think we had a question here. So someone was asking, they said they had a lot of back problems. Will the cool tone help strengthen their core?
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it has been amazing to hear the stories of people having like the relief from their back with this
Yep,
treatment.
yep,
And if you think about it, I mean, it makes sense. If you strengthen your core, that's going to
yep.
help with your posture. It's going to help
Right.
with how you carry yourself, and it's
Hmm.
going to, you almost. It's interesting. Like when you get your abdomen done, sometimes you can feel the pulling in the
In
sides
the
of your
back.
back. It's
Yep.
crazy. Like you can feel it all connecting. I feel like
Of
this
course.
treatment really opens people's eyes to just how interconnected the muscle system is in their
Of
body.
course. Oh yeah. You know, and I say, if you're somebody that works out, you can still do the cool tone. Like it's not like it's replacing your workout. Or if you're somebody that hasn't worked out in a long time, you can still do this. Actually, it's like a jump start. I
Yeah.
feel like I just don't think people, it's all about education and knowledge. I just don't think people realize, how you were saying things are all connected. People don't understand how, having a stronger core strengthens your posture, helps, alleviate back aches and symptoms like that. So I think that people, regardless if it's for aesthetic reasons, like, okay, I want to look better. I want to look better in a bathing suit, my clothes, whatever, versus, you know what, I can't really do lunges. I can't really do so many squats. I don't really like to go for a run because I have bad knees or a bad back. This could also help.
Yeah, it really does. And I feel like it was really a really big component into creating our tagline because looking good feels good. And so
Right.
many people just feel better after this. They feel better
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, their workouts are better, like you said.
100%.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I do have another question for you. I want to get back on the aesthetic side of things. And guys, if
Yeah.
you have any questions for Christina and her injectables, like now's the time to ask. Feel free to shoot it in there and we'll go over it. But what is one of your favorite procedures or treatments to perform?
I think so. Dr. Allenby and I like really share this. I think people always come in and it's funny because like I used to be a big lip injector because people would always come in and want their lips injected. I think that trend has kind of gone down. It's not as common anymore. But Dr. Allenby and I share this. When people come in, I really like to hear what they say first. Like I want to know, like I had somebody tell me that their under eyes bothered them. So I'm like, well, why does it bother you? Well, I'm really hollow there. And I'm like, okay. And so here I have to talk to them and educate them about why they have that issue, right? So one of
Yeah.
my favorite areas to inject is actually here. I think that like this area right here and like this, so it's like here and here, because that's when people are going to see the most change. That's when people are going to notice the biggest difference. And the reason why it's one of my favorite areas to inject is because as we age, we lose volume, and we don't lose it from here. We don't lose it from, I mean, we do age down here, but like majority of the time people are going to notice that their face is going to feel like they're falling or not as high. Like I
Right.
know in quarantine, like I look at in my mirror, I can't stand it anymore because I notice so many things. I notice that this isn't as high, and I'm starting to notice the lines here. So a lot of people will come in and like they'll say, oh, I hate these lines around my mouth. And I'm like, well, you have that because you're losing volume here. So
Oh,
one
I
of my
love that.
favorite, so
Yeah.
one of my favorite areas to inject is honestly here. And we can do that with filler, like Voluma. Voluma is a great filler for the mid face.
Okay.
The other area that's great too is we do a lot of threads in the office. And that's even something that a lot of patients are starting to ask more about. Threads are basically like an instant facelift, and the best thing that I say is combining the two, so doing filler and the threads to lift, and that would probably be the ultimate thing that I love to treat.
Yeah, I feel like I hear people talking about that so much now, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I've seen the work that you and Dr. Ambi have been doing, and it's like a facelift. I mean, we're to the point where surgery is almost not going to be a situation anymore other than for super severe cases. It's
Oh yeah, for
amazing.
sure. Somebody asked, does it hurt to do the threads? We numb before, okay, so we want to we want to make you as comfortable as possible. And so we do use um, topical, localized numbing medication like lidocaine or something to make it as comfortable as possible.
Awesome. I think somebody also asked how often do you get the cool tone? So you're going to get 4 treatments over the course of 2 weeks maximum. So we
Yeah.
usually recommend like a treatment every other day just to get
Yeah.
the maximum results.
Mhm.
So, and then I think we also saw another question, when can I come in? So guys, exciting news. We are reopening on Monday, both
Yes.
practices. So Allen B Derm and Body Squad are both going to be open on Monday. We are doing everything in our power to make it as safe as possible. And what that
Right.
means, there's going to be some adjustments to the schedule.
Yeah.
We're going to minimize the amount of people coming in, including staff. And, whenever you call to schedule, we'll go over everything with you, but you're going to be in really good hands. You're going to be very safe. Dr. Ambi's done a ton of research into all of the appropriate steps that we need to make sure that everybody can come in and feel very comfortable and feel like they're in
Right.
good hands,
Yes.
and know that they can get back to feeling good and regular.
And I know. I think it's crazy. I think a lot of people, so people will always joke and say, "Oh, it's all maintenance." But you know what? A lot of this stuff is so that you can feel better about yourself, so that you can feel more confident, so that you can feel, like back to your norm, like
Yes.
even just like for me not getting my eyebrows waxed or threaded, like it's like crazy, what you do for your beauty routine. And so we're very excited to get back to work. We're very excited to see our patients. We're very excited to have our opening on Monday with of course, top precautions for our patients. We want to be safe, and we want to give everybody, the best care that we can. And we want to make sure that people understand that we're, taking full precaution. And we're ready.
We are ready. We cannot wait. And you know what? We know everyone has gone through quite a experience here, and we want to make things as easy as possible. So a couple of things, guys, that we're trying to do to help you out. If you want to have a complimentary consultation with Cristina virtually, yes, we're going to continue to offer those, but anyone who does it before we open will get 10% of their total treatment off.
Yes.
So that's a huge savings, guys.
Huge savings.
It's going to reduce your time in the office. We'll already know what you need, have it prepped and ready to go when you come in, and then you're going to get that amazing savings. We also have gift cards for sale, and those will also be ending at the end of the night tomorrow. So we've got $500 will get you one free cool tone. So you get the $500 spend plus the free cool tone. And then we also have purchased a $300 gift card for $200.
Yeah.
So we've got
these get big savings.
Huge savings. Yeah. And I mean, again, we're just doing everything we can to try to help everybody. We know everyone wants to get back in, and we're trying to make it as easy for you as possible to do that. So those gift cards are available at both practices. And then we also have buy 4 cool sculpting, and you're going to get 4 cool tone free. That is like several $1,000s worth of savings, guys. It's huge.
That in and of itself, because you need at least 4 cool tone, to get started, cool tone, you want to have at least, and same thing with cool sculpting, 4 for, and doing 4 treatments, you're going to get 4 cool tone for free. That's unbelievable. That's huge. That's a huge savings.
And it's going to kickstart everybody. It's going to get you back on track. It's going to get you back to feeling like yourself. So these are like the deals that you want to take advantage of. And
for sure.
We've got one more cool sculpting special, which, I'm just going to put it like this. What's better than, buy one, get one 50% off? I don't know. I guess you have to call to find out, guys. But it's better than that. So now it's time. If you're cool sculpting, either location, give us a call. We're going to help you out. We're going to take care of you. And you're going to get like a banging body for summer.
That is amazing. Seriously, everybody needs to get back on. Everybody needs to get on that deal, because I don't know about you. Like, so I love being outside. Like, that's what I plan on doing for the rest of the afternoon, just trying to just be in the fresh air.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody that needs a kickstart and a jump start, this is what you should do. It's painless. You're not going to have any downtime. You're going to still be able to go back to the office when you're back to work. If you haven't been back to work yet, you're not going to have, to take off. You can do it during your lunchtime. You can do it after work. You could do it on the weekend at Body Squad. There's so many great things. Sounds like I'm calling right now. Good.
I know. I love it. Call us. We got your back.
Yep.
All
Awesome.
right, guys. Well, thank you, Christina, for joining us.
You're welcome.
We really